Hi, welcome to That's What She Said. We are doing the weekend forecast, the weekend love forecast. The coming weekend is November 21st, 22nd, something like that. Some people's weekends begin on Thursday, but it's for this coming weekend. I have picked four crystals from the Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle by Judy Hall. I really like pulling the crystals from this deck because they're really beautiful representations of the crystals, and there's more of the really nice ones than I actually have. Really quick, I'll go over the decks, and if you want a personal reading, information will be below for contacting me and requesting a read. It could be just a question, or it could be an amount of time with multiple questions. Balls in your court. Let me know. Contact me. I look forward to hearing from you. So for today's love reading, I'll be using two decks for overall information. So oracles, I'm using the energy oracle card. I'll be pulling one for the weekend, and then a tarot from the Intuit Controversa deck to give an overall energy for the coming weekend. And trying to set things down so they don't fall all over the place. And for tarot cards, I'll be using the Marchetti Tarot by Kiro Marchetti, and Undercurrents with the This Might Hurt Tarot deck by Isabel Rutman. I've got this tower of boxes over here that if I move too fast, I'll knock over. But this week's crystals that will be choosing which one you resonate with. We have the Golden Healer, Garnet, Carnelian, and Moldavite. What I've done is I've shuffled the deck and then picked the four crystals. Let the deck choose what the crystals will be. I will be putting timestamps below for each of the crystals, for the readings for those crystals. I'll be starting with Golden Healer, and I'll be back. It'll jump right to the next crystal, but that way you don't see all the card moving around and everything. The cards have been fully shuffled prior to me starting, but I'll do a quick last shuffle before I pull cards. Anything else, if I've forgotten, let me know, and I'll try to get back to you. So in a moment, Golden Healer. Hello, and welcome back to those who resonated with this beautiful little cluster. It's called the Golden Healer. And the Golden Healer is a crystal that resonates with all chakras. It it's considered a healing crystal and a transformative healing crystal, if anything. So going through changes in life, this would be really good crystal to have around. It works, yes, metaphysics. It works on the metaphysical level with all your senses. It's good for personal growth and understanding yourself. Excuse me. Sorry. I had to click over. I had to turn off my phone really quick. It was going to be ringing. I forgot to mute it. In any case, Golden Healer. It is a stone used. I'm trying to remember the last part of it. It's for following your soul over your ego. Healing stone, personal healing stone, and it works on quantum levels. Meaning it works from top down, if you will. It's also just really pretty. Again, a stone I have never seen in person, and I love some of these when I find them in this deck. So this reading, this weekend love reading, brought to you by the Golden Healer. Okay, so now let's get an oracle card to let us know what the overall weekend energy will be for those who resonated with the Golden Healer. Again, these are the energy oracle cards, which I thought was appropriate when trying to get the energy for the weekend, right? You use the energy oracle. Duh. Okay. And the survey says, ooh, door to value. Sounds like a shopping weekend, right? Let's pull tarot card, clarifier oracle card for the oracle. Just the overall, like the money flying, but it's all different denominations. It's like my first thought was like, you know, somebody's got this wad of money on the dresser, but it's for another country, and it's not worth anything in the country you're in, but it looks like you've got lots of money, just not here. Oh, okay. Well, yes, that's it. Champion of Wands. Well, look at that. So the overall energy, door to value. So value, though it shows all this money, it's what's of worth to you. It could be money, but it's not necessarily money. You're entering this weekend as an opportunity to advance towards the things you value most. And we've got this Champion of Wands, which is the Knight of Wands, which passions, going after your passions. So opportunity for going after the things that you value. I'm kind of, well, it looks good so far. Let's do a shuffle. I love this deck, and I also cannot, the card, because the cards are so wonderfully thick and a size I really like working with, I also can't shuffle them. It's like I just can't win for losing, right? But we'll give this a last. I do shuffle it by breaking it down to smaller piles, shuffling those, and then shuffling with each other. It takes a while, which is why I do it before I start, to get this nice and cleared and ready for the next reading. Okie dokie. Okay. And then we're going to, this is the This Might Hurt deck, which I pull for the undercurrents. Okay. 2 cards, sorry. Only one can play when you jump out in pairs. You might have seen that card. Well, then that's your special treat. It's your Easter egg. Just have a rule. I'll take jumpers, but only when they're singles. Just the message is too garbled. That's all. Okay. Let's see. So currently, King of Wands and Ace of Pentacles. So current, before we go into the weekend, looks like we're thinking about our passions and knowing where we stand in the world, but also underneath, new prospects, things we may want to go after or nurture, which again goes with this, doors opening and going after here. Wands, you got this double up of Wands. Now the challenges for this weekend, we've got the High Priestess and the Star. High Priestess is the unknown. I just said known. Knowledge that is known, but let's say not written down. Gut feelings, intuition, and let's say, well, because I see the money here. Let's just go with stock market. There's people who read all the information and they look at all the newspapers, and they've got spreadsheets that try to figure out, okay, this company, it's going to go forward. And then there's other people who are like, I just have a feeling. I haven't read anything. I don't know anything about what this company does, but I have a feeling that this is what's the next big thing. And they do well. But there are going to be people who are, I'm pointing at the King of Wands, but people who are need everything to be very scientific, who would probably say, oh, that's not a valid, that's just a guess. It may be a guess, but if it gets you where you want to be, does it matter whether it was hours and hours of scientific? And this is nothing against science, but Wall Street is just a gamble. No matter how much science you want to put on it, that only tells you what happened in the past. In the future, let's this whole past year, 2020, any future projections you might have planned for your investment for this year probably didn't work out because this came in from the side and messed up all those plans. But somebody who may think, oh, you know what, I'm thinking things are going to be unstable, and they decide to put their money in a different way because of what they felt might do better. Okay, this is a love reading. It's because I'm looking at these dollars on this card, so I went for that as an example. But your challenges and what may be blocking you from your love life could be gut feelings, which may not be bad though. What I mean is, you want to go forward, you want to find your passion mate, but if you feel that the person's not right, go with it, because, your undercurrent as a star is, you may have too many possibilities. You have unlimited possibilities, which is great, but if there's too many, it's almost a glut on the senses. So past issues that may be affecting this weekend. We've got the King of... Wow, lots of royalty here. King of Cups and the Four Swords. Okay. So in the past, you've had a relationship with somebody who... I'm going to say may have had their emotional life all together. Nothing rocked them. Even though they were fully aware of their emotions, which can be really irritating if you're a passionate person. Which may be a little... you vent, then to come across somebody who's emotionally contained, they're like, yes, oh, this is terrible, but they never go to an extreme. They always keep going forward without the emotions at all flustering them. Can make you like really crazy. And then the Four Swords as an undercurrent, that's rest. That's taking a break. That's okay. I've had this type of relationship, and maybe this is the past it's a past relationship, and for whatever reason you were really happy with it, but it's no longer a relationship and you just took a break. And what you want is maybe another King of Cups, but you can't duplicate it, right? That's going to affect how you are going forward if you're constantly comparing to what's in the past. Okay, let's go over here. And the potential future influences. Oh, we've got the Eight of Coins, which keep working at it. But the undercurrent, Seven of Swords. Sneaky. So, and that makes me go back here. Challenges. Having... So, yeah. Your challenge that may keep you is the fact that you're going to have lots of choices to choose from. And instead of choosing, you try to have the whole thing. And what I like about this card is they're sneaking off, but they never get away with everything. They always drop. So you may actually have the thing that's going to work going forward, but you may lose it because you're just trying to have it all of them. And maybe the other person is not interested in being one of all of them. So, the weekend love forecast for those who resonate with the Golden Healer actually looks good. You will have to rely on really knowing yourself and what you want in your relationship to make choices. And if you don't, you took a break from a past relationship. And again, I'm trying to do general, so specific, it's going to be different for a lot of different people. This is either a past relationship or this is an idealized idea of what a relationship should be that may be keeping you from picking the right person. Challenges is knowing yourself, knowing what you really want, and then choosing wisely. Because if you don't choose wisely, if you try to have it all, you're going to drop the ball somewhere. But if you don't get too greedy, you'll find something that you actually can work on and go well going forward. Or you could just go out and have a great weekend, spend a lot of money, and go back to work on Monday. I actually see that as well. But it all depends on where you're at on your relationship. So, yeah, I see a good love forecast for this weekend. This was a good stone. I wish I'd picked it. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye. Hello. Welcome to those who resonated with Garnet. And I know most of the times I've seen garnets already polished like a gem. I rarely see them like this. Almost looks like a piece of cherry chocolate. But our garnet, it usually resonates with the base, sacral, and heart chakras, but it also energizes all of them. It's a rejuvenating stone. It's believed to protect against evil, terrifying dreams. Who likes terrifying dreams? It's a card. It's a stone. About passion, basically, which kind of resonates well for a reading about love forecast. Sorry, I've got a candle right here, and it was about to drip over on the card. Give me a moment. I should have noticed before I started, but I didn't. Sorry. Okay, so now let's give these cards a shuffle. This is the energy oracle cards to pull just an overarching an energy for the weekend, November 21st, 22nd, for those resonating with Garnet. Okay. I realized that I shuffled everything really well, but this one between. Ah! You saw that? It's alive. And, ooh, the garden and the gate. Possibilities. Staying or going. Interesting. Let's see. Let's pull a tarot clarifier for the energies this weekend. Help figure out garden and the gate. I may have to look. I don't think I have. You get these decks and they have all these cards, and some of them you never pull, and then all of a sudden there it is. You're like, oh my god. Ooh, the Lovers. Again, kind of a nice card for a love reading, right? Okay, I'm going to look up in the book really quick. Abundant prosperity and staying safe. Because, yeah, that's what I'm seeing like this, but the gate's closed. So as long as you... I like when it's what I thought it was. And I didn't read it, but... So this weekend, you've got... Things will be happy, but you want to stay within your boundaries. You've got the Lovers, divine union. So you've got this girl looking outside the gate, and this is a love reading. So if you're thinking of looking outside your backyard, but there's someone who's already in the yard with you, take a look. Say you're actually looking at the butterfly. Things will be fine. You stay in your boundaries, and it'll be a great weekend. But you go outside that gate, all bets are off. Trying very hard to not say, what it is, but so the temptation, if you will. But again, it may not be temptation, because sometimes it's just something, because that's a really pretty view. I'm going to show the card again. I mean, that's really pretty, right? I could sit there and just look at, but I have no interest in going and walking out in what looks like possibly a muddy hillside after a rain. It's pretty, but my garden is much nicer. There we go. I'm going to shuffle the undercurrent cards too really quick so I can just deal them both out. I apologize. Just went right into the next reading without clearing the decks. There we go. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember if I split this, so I'll split it twice. You get 2 splits. Looks so random, but it's not. Okay, currently. Ooh. Okay, current situation looks like not, which again, if you're looking outside the garden gates, there may be some contention, and considering the undercurrent is the Queen of Cups, you are happy with the situation, but you may be with someone who's not. And this kind of indicates if you're in a relationship. If you're not in a relationship, it could also be that you're just kind of happy on your own and people are trying to get you to go out and you say, no. Okay, I'm sorry. I noticed something on this card I didn't notice before. I'm trying to figure out what that is. Like, are those supposed to be gills or something? They're coming out of her neck. I know it's the Queen of Cups, but I've never noticed that before. Okay, what is our challenges? Oh, look at double down on the Queen of Cups. Double down. 10 of Pentacles. So if you are currently in a relationship and you're happy with it, but the other person doesn't seem to be, that is your challenge, is the fact that you don't want to make any changes. In fact, your undercurrent is you've got it all. You've got everything you've ever wanted here, and you have no intention of changing. But even though it's not a happy situation, whatever that situation. Let's see, what's in the past? Ooh, the King of Swords. No, excuse me, that's not the King. That's the Knight. Dirt. Okay, and Knight. Knight of Swords. And doesn't that look like Christopher Walken? Oh my God, I'm getting distracted. So, let's see. You may have, in the past, so this is past issues, things that are impacting the current. So in the past, you've had a lot of intellectual relationships and very powerful and your mind was incited. Maybe not so much your emotions. And the undercurrent for that was like, searching. You were searching for your love, and you were doing it on an intellectual level, which may have gotten to your current situation, which you're happy with. But again, the energy currently is contention. I don't know but seeing that this is sort of an intellectual type of energy in the past, this could just be debate that just gets really heated. Also, considering the current political climate, though it's not true here, if you're in the United States and let's say you're in a relationship and you both voted for different people for president, what I'm hearing is it is actually splitting some relationships apart, which probably means you need to reevaluate but that's different. All I'm saying is current situation, you're happy with it, and contented, but it is not a happy relationship for the other person. And it's potential for the future. 7 of coins. Oh, 7 of coins. So 7 of coins, that's your you made an investment, you're in it for the long term, you're going to work, maybe you're perfectly happy, but you've got this 3 of Swords, this heartbreak card, which, okay, if you don't make changes, so what I'm seeing is you've made the relationship you're in currently, or not in currently, has been, you've gotten to this point through intellectual choosing and seeking, and you found your emotional happy place where you want things to come to you. But your challenge is the fact that you want to stay like that. This is your happy place. But it's not so, and you need to put some work in for the long term, or you're not going to keep this relationship. Now, if you're not in a relationship, that's if you're in a relationship, because someone's going to be not staying in the garden gate, and so there's going to be this lover energy, but somebody may not be wanting to stay, and they're going to want to go. You've got this possibility for this heartbreak card over here. Okay, so that's if you're in a relationship. If you're not in a relationship, this doesn't seem to be the weekend to actually go out and find somebody new. Then we're going to look at this as getting closer to yourself. This weekend is about staying within the garden gate. Another definition of the lovers is not necessarily 2 people, but a choice of the 2 sides of yourself, and getting to know and love all of yourself, which, if we go and look at this as somebody who's not in a relationship, may not exactly be happy with both sides. You may be kind of warring with parts of yourself, though the undercurrent is you're really quite happy. And again, key challenges are you don't want to make any changes. You may not like parts of yourself, and you may continue to repress it because you just think they should be repressed. And again, because of past intellectual relationships and your own investigation into where you want to be in life, you may or may not want to do the work needed. And there's probably still work because something's not right. And though you started out on a good path, if you don't do the work, the heartbreak, remember, even if you're not in a relationship, heartbreak is not necessarily about romance. It's about having to leave something behind that you thought you never would. So if you're in a relationship, there could be trouble. If you're not in a relationship, I don't see this as a weekend to actually find a new one. I find it to be a weekend that you should work on your relationship with yourself in order. So if you make that the long-term investment, future weekends will be the weekend to find the other. Yeah, okay. Again, it's a general read, so trying to make it work for whether in or not in, because they're two different starting points, right? Okay, let me know what you think. I'd love to hear it. Have a great weekend. Stay safe in these turbulent times, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye. Hello. Welcome those people who resonated with the Carnelian stone. Carnelian, this is a base and sacral resonating chakra resonating crystal. It protects against the evil eye and envy and keeping you from getting too passionate, too angry, and making poor choices based on anger instead of what you really want to do. But it also helps when I put it in the wrong place. It also helps in the what's the word I'm looking for? Courage. That's the word I'm looking for. It also helps with courage in when you need to do something you're afraid to do. So it can bring up the fire, but it can keep the fire from getting too hot. It's a good passion card if you have too much passion or not enough passion. Okay. In between here, I did reshuffle the cards. So now, okay. No, we're not. This one just jumped out. Community. Okay, so this weekend, for those who resonate with Carnelian, community for this weekend. So that's getting out. Looks like a party, doesn't it? Just gonna get out, get your nice clothes on, and which if you're in the U.S., well, that's gonna be hard because most of the country has just gone into lockdown. From the news I've heard, we're not the only country in the world that's in lockdown because of coronavirus. Everything is getting, but that doesn't mean you can't have community just via different avenues. Zoom parties where, Zoom movie watching, things that you can do together and yet apart. And so you can still chat and you can still do things. Internet gaming, that's always been a very pandemic good thing to do because you're playing with a bunch of other people and you're all sitting alone. Not always, but... Ooh, the devil, strings attached. Interesting. So my very first thought is, after just going on and on about the pandemic, and though you want to go out and party because you're just tired of being in, you want to go out and see people, is the fact that, okay, yeah, you can do it, but the devil's about doing things you know are bad for you. And that anything you do, there's a consequence. And the devil card usually is not thinking about the consequences and doing it anyway, and like, I will deal with the consequences later, which you can. And there's nothing stopping you. This is all your choice. If you make a bad decision, it is your choice to make. And that's not a judgment. The poor choice would come from how you feel about it after the fact. Deciding you're a lemming and jump off the cliff with a bunch of other lemmings and breaking your back. Your choice. I would say it's a poor choice because, now you have a broken back. If your whole goal was to break your back, then it was a good choice. It's all in how you want to look at it. And that's all I'm saying. That's what the devil card is, though. It's usually a card of it indicates addiction or just doing anything at all that you actually deep down know you shouldn't be doing, and you continue to do it anyway for whatever reason. And I firmly believe that some things are hard to do, and you just have to do them or not. I'm guilty of it just as much as anybody else. I'm one of the many people who swears I'm going to work out this week. As opposed to the last decades of swearing I'm going to work out this week. And still not. So we're going to pull some cards for those resonating with Carnelian. It's a passion stone, or no, not so much passion, more helps you deal with fiery emotions. That's a better way to think of Carnelian. It's also just pretty. I don't think I've ever seen a Carnelian like that. It looks almost like a planet. Like if I didn't know better and you were just saying this is the planet Mars, I'm like, that's exactly what I think the planet Mars should look like. Okay, now that we have all our cards, let's see what they say for this weekend. And currently, okay. So currently it looks like we've been working hard, trying to manifest, trying to, bring in community. It's not been easy in these last whole year. The undercurrent is, introspection, maybe looking back on what you've done, but solitary, and which a lot of people, it's harder than others depending on what their home life was before this started. If they live alone and have continued to be isolated, it can get really tough about now. It's easier or worse on families that live together, and those of you who are living with families know exactly what I mean. Everyone got along fine when you had avenues to be away, and then you can come back to your loved ones, and it's great. But now it's just constant. In a way, it's sort of like how it used to be before technology, because if you grew up on a farm, you didn't see many other people. In any case, what are your key challenges this weekend? Interesting here. So 4 Wands kind of mirrors this community here, but you've got the Lovers and the 4 Wands, which is celebration. So the challenges that may be stopping you is maybe the not knowing, again, your personal situation. But if you're in a relationship, an idealized idea of a relationship, and I'm looking at this and I'm thinking this is like Romeo and Juliet, which I don't know why people love to use Romeo and Juliet, because they didn't end well. And here you've got families, but celebration, but very pertinent. That's just just the family, the immediate family. There's no other people. So the challenges are right now is you're dealing with the fact that you have to stay isolated, and you've got the Devil card. You're wanting to do this. You have loved ones, but you should be celebrating separately. Okay, and again, this is working within the situation I know most of the world's in right now. Okay, past issues. Ooh, King of Coins and the Sun. Doesn't it just go with what I've been talking about? So looking back at the Sun. So in the past, you've had all your needs and wants taken care of. You're able to roam freely out in the sun. The Sun card's always such a fun card, but it's always within boundaries. These sunflowers, though they're pretty, they're outside the wall. The Sun is actually the kid playing on the dog, and there's the little puppy. They're behind a wall. They're in a secure area. And that's provided by having the means to do anything you wanted. But now you're working hard and you're solitary. And solitary, even if you're in a relationship or single, you still can be pretty much isolated, because you can be in a relationship, but you're used to having more of a community, other people, just going over to friends for dinner. And it's not happening these days, and work is harder, but it's also solitary. And what you want is this, but it's wanting this could be blocking you, because if again, I just keep on getting the current pandemic. How do you meet somebody new when you really can't meet anybody new in person? This, unless you've already been doing this, is just like, you have to have lots of tests before you do this. Okay. Potential future. Oh, but that's 9 of Cups, 8 of Wands. That's excellent, actually. Because this is plenty. Having emotional, you've got everything you want, and you have actually more than you need. And under, you've got this quickness, that it's coming quickly. So, this is how I see this. And I think it applies regardless of whether you're in a relationship or not in a relationship. And it all has to do with our current pandemic situation, because everybody wants community. Everybody's dying to get out and just meet people they already know, meet people they don't know, and just have a chat. Currently, everybody's working hard, but we're doing it solitary. We know we're not supposed to group together, we're supposed to stay apart, but we've got this devil like, oh, but maybe just this once. In the past, not everybody, but there's people out there who's made good coin, did anything they wanted, and that's been curtailed to the point that they're single, having fun. Now that they want to meet somebody, just going out and meeting someone, that you can't do that. But if you keep the physicalness away, meaning I hate to use guidelines, I'm so tired of hearing that word. You can meet people. There are avenues, some of them are even in person, but they're distance. But there are now, through technology, ways that you can talk and meet, get to know people better without being in the same room. And I'm seeing, because this is like very good and coming quickly. This weekend, the challenge will be try not to end up like that. Now, if you're with your partner, well, then I don't know why you're looking at a love forecast, because I assume you're here because you either don't like the one you're in or you want to be in one and you're not in one. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe those are the people who really want to know about the love forecast. So this would be a good weekend, but you need to keep to the separateness. This will come. This is a high possibility, but this challenge, I think that is a challenge, because that's what you want to happen, and it's the thing that's you're not going to be able to do. Find ways to do that until you're sure, and then yes, things will happen quickly. In a way, it sounds great. You'll get to really know somebody before you actually start on the physical side. Delayed physical gratification, if you will. Okay. Well, you know what? Hang in there, people. It's been a tough year so far. Look for the happy, bright spots. And make sure when you do that you're not endangering you or anybody else. Have fun. Have your party. But there's a lot of ways of online having fun. That sounded weird, but it doesn't have to be. Just saying, your friends can all have a happy hour, each in your own homes, because then you don't have to drive afterwards, right? But you're online with, a conference call type thing online, and you're still talking and having fun. It's a possibility. People can do it. They've been doing it on games. Just continue reaching out to people, just not necessarily in person. Okay, I'll stop ranting. Okay, there you go. That's what I see for this weekend. You Carnelian people, keep working and looking out for yourself. You're going to get what you deserve. And that can sound ominous or wonderful. That's all on how you perceive that. Have a great week. I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye. Hello. Welcome those who resonate with Moldavite. Moldavite's cool because it's a meteorite. Or was a meteorite? It's sort of, what I understand of Moldavite is a meteorite crashed into the Earth millions of years ago. And the heat of that impact, so that meteorite and the planet fused together, creating Moldavite. So it's resonates or works with all the chakras. But because of that, I think it's why it's considered a metamorphosis stone, because it is a molding of the energies of the space, the universe with this planet. Also, I think I remember reading something. It reminds you that human beings were, children of stardust. We were created from the stuff of the universe, and Moldavite is also from outside this planet and this planet molded together. So that's just a little bit of Moldavite. And now, cards. So first, I'm going to pull a card from the Energy Oracle deck. An overview for those resonating with Moldavite for the energies this weekend. What to look forward to this weekend, I believe, is November 21st, 22nd. And again, I believe I'm doing the math in my head, but I haven't actually looked at a calendar in like a week. I kind of forget what day of the week it is sometimes. But, weekend, love forecast. What's the energies for those resonating with Moldavite? It is the Thinking Man. Oh. And look at those crystals in his hands. Sounds like a lot of contemplation this weekend. Whether ye be man or woman. But more mental energy, I'm guessing. Or modified thinker. Okay, let's get a qualifying. Oops, complete miss. That was a whiff. There we go. Three of Coins. Doing it together. So we've got thinking. So the thinking and the Three of Coins, which in other decks, the Three of Coins tends to be a mastery level of working at your craft, and you have mastered it in order to then share it, I guess, which is probably maybe where this doing it together card comes from. So the undercurrent of the weekend is more of a contemplative weekend, is wanting it to do with other people. So solitary versus community. Let's see what the tarot cards have to say about all this. I'll pull just a few cards, 4 cards, and then 4 more cards for undercurrents. Oop, no. I told you. Groupsies, go back in the pile. Oh, okay, fine. You all saw that. That was a single. So it told me, didn't it? Let's get the rest. Sometimes I wonder what the card was on the top and bottom to see if the same card jumped out again. I will often check on my own readings for myself. When they jump, I'll see what they are, then throw them back in when they're a pile. Just look at the top and the bottom one. Just to see if they come back up again. Sometimes they do. And then I'm like, okay. I just didn't know which one of those is supposed to come out when you jump out as a group. I see group cards jumping out as the deck being unclear. If the deck's unclear, well, what the help is that? Okay, here we go. Let's see. 6 of Wands and the Queen of Cups. The current situation for Moldavitians is, you're in a emotional state where you're quite happy and waiting for what should be yours to come to you, because there's no reason for you to go after it. You're it. They're going to come to you. And you've worked hard at it, and you're getting some accolades. Well, but it's transitory, so, and you know it. So even though people are congratulating on something, you know that you should know that whatever it is, they're going to want something new. It's not going to last. Sort of like fame. You only. So challenges for this weekend: King of Wands and Eight of Wands. Oh, so you've got challenge. So okay, you've got wanting things to come, but the challenge is getting the passion to go out and act swiftly, which is a challenge when you're happy just wanting it to come to you and getting what you deserve. And the challenge, which may be blocking you, is that you need to actually go out and move fast for what you want instead of just waiting for it to come to you. That's what I read so far. Thinking, but you want to do things together. Let's see what the past. Oh, okay. So we've got the Five of Coins and the Two of Pentacles. So in the past, you felt left out in the cold or not getting what you need, lack. And the undercurrent, it was, choices. So it could have been, instead of being balanced, because that's also a balance card, but maybe trying to keep that balance also made you had to choose between, things are hard. You may have to choose between food and some luxury item, luxury being, let's say, something to pass the time, where before you could have the movie and dinner. Now it's you can have food or you can have Netflix, but you can't afford both. That's the past influencing this. And now let's say since you came from lack, you were pretty happy where you're at, but your challenge is to actually not be complacent. Let's see. Potential future. Ooh, Hermit. Seven of Pentacles. Okay. So the Hermit is solitary, but they shine a light. They're always looking. Though they're solitary, they're not alone. And I say this is a love reading, so potential is maybe being happy being alone. Or I don't say happy being alone, but not needing to have somebody else there. The Seven of Pentacles is, again, that's the gratification, working for what, working for the good work, providing for yourself, and knowing that you're doing good work. So now, how does this work if you're single as opposed to not single? So if you're single, the weekend is thinking, but doing it together, web stuff. Well, web, the internet's meaning maybe doing things together, but not in the same room. And if you're single, you're the package. You are, you believe currently that you are the thing people want. But what's blocking you is you're not taking action. You're just waiting for somebody to notice you instead of going out and trying to be noticed. And again, the past, there's been lack in the past, and problems trying to keep things balanced, or keeping yourself balanced still ended up in you not having enough and seeing others have more than enough, but trying to still keep your even keel with an empty belly, if you will. The potential future, though, here, because seems to be, more alone time and working on yourself. These blocks. In a way, though, I'm seeing this. You see this as pushing you backwards, actually. So if you're single, though you want a love relationship, you also don't want something that is going to not be lasting or push you back from what you've gained, either personally, financially, or where we're at, that you've reached a point of where you feel, hey, I've succeeded, I've achieved this. You don't want to be pushed back just because of someone else's passion. You don't want that interrupting with your own happiness. And so, again, though this is a challenge to getting a relationship, it may be that there's no need for a relationship with someone else. You're still on a solitary path. Okay, now that's if you're single. Now, if you're not single, we still start with you the thing. You're good. In the relationship, again, there's still this lack, but a balance. The blocks may be the fact that maybe there is some complacency in the relationship, and maybe a little too much fire because of the isolation from other people. So you're having to, if you will, there's quick flare-ups because of tight quarters. And in order to maintain the relationship, maybe you need some alone time, not necessarily together, because doing it together, but if you're both meditating, you're still together, but you're also singular. So if you're in a relationship and things are kind of rocky, it's a situation at large, right? You need to do things together, you want to do things together, but some things you have to do apart. You just gotta. It's like that in any relationship during any time. You don't always spend time together. Even when you sleep, you're together, but you're both in your own dream worlds, right? You don't share your... Well, there may be people out there who do. I don't know any of them. Everybody has their own dream time. But the satisfaction from working on this relationship is going to be very rewardful. Rewardful? I'm not sure that's a word, but I'm using it. So, yes, whether you're in a relationship and you're worried about it, or you're single, you are good. There are issues, but working on yourself is going to be the outcome, and it's a good outcome. And it'll help you in a relationship, or if you're not in a relationship, for the future, to invest more on your inner life in both cases. This is a good reading. I like this. I want to pick Moldavite. Can I go back and pick? Do I get to pick? That's just it. I never know. I have to pick them all, actually. In any case, let me know what you think. I'd love to know how your love weekend shows up. Does it show up? Hello, I'm your love weekend. Now, how it turns out is actually the right way I should be saying that. If anybody comes up with some good meditation chants, I'm horrible at meditation. I like to talk a lot, if you haven't noticed. Okay, leave it there. Have a wonderful, happy love weekend, or any type of weekend, really. And I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.